It is a Friday edition of Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. Friday the 13th in February 2026. Hope everybody's having a wonderful kickstart to the weekend. A lot of stuff going on with the Winter Olympics really rolling on here with the United States and third right now in total gold medals behind Italy and Norway. And you got a lot of discussion to talk about. Back to a little college football with Trinidad Chambliss, the hero of the Ole Miss season and the hero of the college football playoff, where Ole Miss really gave a puncher's chance to Miami in that semifinal. He is granted a 6th year of eligibility. And then when in doubt, leave it to the Big Ten or the SEC to really get in the NCAA's ear, trying to expand the playoff yet again. Their new, idea was for 24 teams. 24 teams to make the college football playoff. We'll get into that, get into a little bit of the NBA, finally punishing the Utah Jazz for tanking. And then Chris Paul, after over 20 seasons in the National Basketball Association, calls it quits after being waived by the Toronto Raptors, tried to end it, tried to have a little bit of a retirement tour with the Clippers, and that did not work out. So he was dealt away with, and sort of a flared out finish to his career after as good of a career as you could possibly have for somebody who's never won a championship or an MVP. If you're going to put somebody into a subcategory of non-MVPs, non-champions, Chris Paul would be near the top. Nonetheless, we got Mike Rizzo and Christian Cat. Colin Russo here. We're streaming live on YouTube at ESPN South Florida, Twitter and Facebook at ESPN West Palm. Big Ten is circulating an internal document, according to Pete Thamel of ESPN, that has a 24-team college football playoff and what it would look like, including an elimination of conference games. It's a 23 plus 1 selection model and an additional weekend of on-campus college football playoff home games. So I know it was 12 this past year. It's going to be 12 yet again. SEC wanted 16, but the Big is going for 24. What would that mean? It would mean that everything is moved up a little bit in terms of you play that second weekend in December and you call it quits on conference championship games. Mike Rizzo, your thoughts on this proposal?
Well, it's diluting the regular season, but it's doing two things. It's getting rid of that meaningless conference championship game, and I also think that the probably the biggest out of the two is that it's giving coaches more of a leadway, right? You saw last year Brian Kelly get fired mid-season because LSU found out that their season no longer mattered. They had too many losses at the time of the season. They were never going to make the 12-team college football playoff. They were never going to make their SEC championship game. I think that's all this does, but 24 is too much. I mean, we went through the teams last year who are the top 24 teams in the country who would have made it, and most of them you're like, all right, we didn't need to see them play another meaningful game of football. Not to say that the bowl games are meaningless. It's not what I'm trying to say. But at the same time, if you're in the college football playoff, it should mean something. The 24 model gets rid of that. And I really do think this is, and listen, I'm a Big Ten guy, known as Big Ten Mike in my circles. I think this is a Big Ten just trying to get more of their teams into the tournament and trying to justify 3-4 loss seasons that come from a Power 5 conference. I mean, this is going to be full of SEC teams. It's going to be full of Big Ten teams. And it's going to be full of teams who are kind of at the top of the pecking order in conferences. Let's call a spade a spade. The ACC, with how great Miami's season was, the ACC isn't the conference that the Big Ten is. The ACC isn't the conference that the SEC is. All right? Can a couple of those programs like Florida State and Clemson get back to relevance? Probably. But Colin, our initial reactions of 24, way too many teams trying to justify coaches who probably deserve to be on the hot seat is a statement, but like the regular season needs to matter at some point, right? The regular season needs to matter at some point. I think 24 is too much. I like the 16 model more with the automatic 4 from the SEC and the Big Ten. I like that comparatively more than the 23 plus 1.
888-760-3776. Would you be in favor of a 24-team college football playoff on the football side of things? Just expanding the field. More games, more playoff games, more teams that get a chance at the dance. Would that interest you? Let us know. 888-760-3776. So if you want more context, how it would work was the top 8 teams in this projection would receive buys. And there would be 8 first-round playoff games on campus, and then an extra week additionally after that with 8 second-round games on campus. So the 8 teams that get the bye get to also play a home game in their building. So it would be 2 weeks of on-campus games, and then you sort of get into the bowl game, neutral site location games. How would it have worked if this would have happened, hypothetically, in 2025? It would have been 7 SEC teams, 6 Big Ten teams, 5 Big 12, 3 ACC, 2 Group of 6, and then Notre Dame. That's how it would have come out. I agree with you. I think this is a waste of time. I mean, if you're sitting here watching that college football playoff 12 teams thinking, boy, I'd like more, it's the same thing, same concept. I don't know what you're watching that tells you that this needs more teams to the dance, because Indiana straight up didn't get challenged truly until the championship. So, and that's the champion right there. And I know Miami was in a lot of close games, a lot of good games. That's an interesting case study that doesn't always happen. So I don't think that I'm desperate for, Houston and Minnesota to get a crack at it. I'm not desperate for that, because Mike's saying that, well, this gives the coaches a little bit more leeway. Well, it's a cutthroat business. If you don't succeed and early on and often, you're going to get burned. You're making too much money. You make $10 million a year. Why are the coaches complaining when their buyouts they get $60 million out of their bank account for leaving, for not coaching? So that's another thing. Well, if it's that big of a problem, but you guys signed the huge contracts. So James Franklin gets to make, I know it was offset because of the new contract with Virginia Tech, but if Brian Kelly makes $60 million, $55 million on his buyout. So, I mean, how much can I really sympathize for him for having a tight leash? The amount of money you make, yeah, you're going to have a tight leash. The amount of resources that you have, of course you're going to have a difficult leash to you're going to have to succeed.
There are expectations like LSU, Alabama. There are expectations when you accept that job. Even Michigan. Like, listen, I know that Michigan just got a new head coach from Utah. You best believe if Michigan loses 3 or 4 games this year and isn't really competitive, he's going to be on the hot seat. It's just the nature of the beast.
All we're looking at is the 8 teams we get to buy, hypothetically, would be double-digit favorites in 5 or 6 of the 8 games in that second round. Double-digit favorites. And that first round, let's not even consider the fact that, 9, 10, 11, 12, there's still the top teams that have to play in the first round would likely be, 8, 9-point favorites against the 24, the 23, the 22, whatever it might be. I don't think it's worth the squeeze. I really don't, because I think, to Mike's point, you dilute the regular season, and all of a sudden when you're rewarding teams who have 4 or 5 losses out of 12 games, and you got 4 or 5 losses still getting into the dance. Would Duke have gotten in? I know Duke won their conference championship game, but Duke would be an at-large. This past year, they had 5 losses. They would get in. So it would be, unless it's a confirmed steal a bid, I don't necessarily know if I agree with this. I do not think it would be a net positive. Bigger isn't always better, because there's a lot of people that complain about the expanded MLB postseason, and there's a lot of people that complain about the expanded NBA postseason. And I know that's professional sports versus college, and I know the NCAA tournament has 68 teams, and it's fantastic. But, they found the perfect number for that. Is it that crazy to say that maybe 12, I'd listen to 16? Is that not the perfect number for football?
This isn't college basketball either, Colin.
It's not.
There's no Cinderella. I'm sorry. Unless a team turns the ball over 5, 6 times, there's no Cinderella story, man. And that's why college basketball is great. You get teams that freeze up. They can't handle the moment. I think that's more likely to happen in basketball than football. Colin, there's too many I feel like there's too many players in football for a true Cinderella to go on a run. How many times can Oregon and JMU play until JMU wins a game? It could be hundreds of times, in my opinion. And maybe am I a little far? I don't, Colin, you tell me, man. When's the next time we're going to see a team be a true Cinderella in college football? Say this 24 thing comes to fruition, all right? You're telling me that a Tulane, for the sake of the argument, they had a great season last year under Summerall, who's now at Florida. How likely is it that a Tulane is going to be able to beat a Power 5 team. It's not. It's more likely in college basketball. I understand, like, wanting to turn college football into a cool bracket style. Division II does it and all that. The talent discrepancy might be a bit too much on the Division I side.
Team
of things.
discrepancy.
Right. There's not going to be a Cinderella. You're not going to get the Cinderella that you get in college basketball and college football. It's just the fact of the matter.
And I don't want to listen to the fact that people think Miami was a Cinderella.
They weren't.
They were not.
Look at the money spent and the recruiting. Stop it. No way.
Just because, not a chance.
No way, Colin.
Just because they were, a 10? No, not listening to that. So it's not fair. So 24-team college football playoff. Potentially, I know the Big Ten wants that. I wonder why these conferences are so hell-bent on it. My only solution, my only thought process is that they're just desperate to get more of their teams in the dance.
That's it.
You think these conferences are really interested in the true perfect entertainment system machine, the format? You think they're the best possible format? That's what they're interested in? No, they're interested in getting as many teams from their conference into it as they can. They would shoot for a 64 team if it could, if it meant for 10 Big Ten and SEC teams. They would shoot for that. So it's just, to me, it's just a little power hungry from the conferences. And I don't know if you're the NCAA, outside of the Big Ten and the SEC having a ton of money and a ton of power and an influence, I don't know what this really does helping you, adding 8 teams to the fold that will likely get destroyed.
Now, the Big Ten ended their document for the 23+1 with this. It says the Big Ten document stresses the uptick in relevant regular season games, saying in today's transfer portal / player movement era, teams may lose a game or two and gel together later in the season. More playoff opportunities late provides an appropriate safety net. I would say, Colin, there's
what they just talked about is Miami. That's Miami, and Miami made the postseason.
Can I throw a couple more in there? Texas, right, and Notre Dame. Texas, I personally, and you're 100% right about Miami, but I think Texas, who lost an early game to Ohio State, which probably could, and as much as a Buckeye honk I am, a game could have went either way, all right? And then Notre Dame,
who lost first 2 games of the year
and was a backup quarterback fumbled snap away from probably winning that game. So, listen, I get it, man. You got to have repercussions. And listen, I fear, the team that I root for, I fear of missing the playoff because there's that expectation that you got to be there every year. But to some point,
you're just moving the goalposts,
right? And to some point, like
making the playoff is not going to. At that certain point, yes, making the playoff protects your job. If in this scope of college football, that's what it looks like. You expanded 24, that no longer does that. You got to win a game. You got to win 2 games. That's what it's going to turn to.
I agree, and I like as much as like rivalry. There's already that saying out there, Colin, that rivalry weekend barely means like. The Ohio State, I'm going to put it to Ohio State, Michigan, all right? That game used to decide who usually goes to the playoffs. The Buckeyes, who had great, Kyle, the years Michigan were great, they left out 2 really good Ohio State teams because Michigan beat their butts, all right? That's not the case anymore. Both of those teams would now get into the current format, and that's what I hear from college football fans across the country is that rivalry games and big-time games at the end of the season rarely matter anymore. You could lose 2 games and still make the big dance. The 23+1 that we're talking about here, you could lose 4 games. Teams can lose 4 games and get into this 2014 playoff.
It's a waste of time.
I agree.
Wasting everybody's time, especially with 3 bye games, 9 conference games, and you could lose 4 of them and get away with it. Come on. Let's think realistically, logically. Why would you? What good does that do anybody? 888-760-3776. What good does that really? Could that possibly help? Adding double the amount of teams. Are we really under the impression that there are 24 national title contenders, or they're just it's just meat for the buzzsaw, and that's what it's going to be. You're gonna have every round. There's going to be a double-digit favorite, and every round there's going to be a blowout. You don't want that.
There are about 3 teams that could have won the championship this year in the 12-team playoff. There were 3 teams.
Yeah, probably.
Indiana, Miami, and selfishly, the third one who I want to add. That's probably it.
Let's give Ole Miss a little credit, too. They were right there against Miami.
Yeah.
It led them with 4 minutes to go.
I had more issues with the defense comparatively to the other teams, but I understand the point.
That's the bottom line is we got lucky this year with a a number of very good games in the playoff. Number of very good games. I think that's lucky. And to add more to the fold, just in the idea that we think bigger is better, more is better. It's just there's more on the plate, so therefore fans will be appetized. It doesn't always work like that. There is a point in which it just starts to act as an inverse. That's what the NBA postseason has done. That's what, in a lot of people's arguments, the MLB postseason has done a little bit. With the expanded postseason after 162 games, there are some people that think it's a little too easy to get in, and you should just reward the division winners and then maybe a wild card and just call it like that. So I'm under the impression that the 12 is a fine number, and the only reason I'd ever consider going to 16 is just for the sole purpose of getting rid of buys. Getting rid of buys the only, if you're thinking about big problems, all right? Mike and I have talked about this a number of times. Playoff just happened. We already saw it. What are the major problems? Nowhere within the top 20 of the problems that we could come up with would be the amount of teams. We need more teams. We need double the amount of teams.
The biggest thing is scheduling.
Biggest problem is scheduling. The second biggest problem is exclusive to the playoff. It's that and the buys. Those are the two big problems.
And also Colin, I guess the portal date could
right,
be
but that has nothing to do with it. But, yes.
even like players jumping ship and NIL, I think that could be another pillar here. We said in our pre-show meeting, Colin, that what's going to fix the schedule? That's what I want. Give me the model that fixes the schedule. And you said it's easy, though. It's just moving up the date.
You're just adding games. I guess there's stuff going on, but you're still going to go till January 25th, which is when the championship is going to be next year. It's January 25th.
Am I being biased saying 25 days off is way too much for a college football team?
Not even a consideration. Okay. I completely agree.
I just you can't do that.
You can take a vacation, come back, and still have 14 days.
And let's still keep in mind, I know college sports, you have older, and football is irrelevant because, you get juniors leave, but you get the point. College kids, 25 days off, mate. I don't care. You can play for Nick Saban's kids wouldn't be ready to go 25 days off. I know some of the times they were fair play, but still, some of the best coaches in the history of the sport wouldn't be able to have young kids ready to go for a game that you don't even know who you're going to play until about a week in advance for 25 days. Absolutely ridiculous. And making the portal date the same time as the bowl games and during the college football playoff, it's like they're not even trying to have this be beneficial to teams.
Expansion's in our future, though. Would you agree with that?
I agree. I told you I like 16. If you're going to do it, do 16 and fix the schedule. Like you said, more games, whatever the hell it may be. Do 16 and fine. If the SEC and the Big Ten want their 4 in, their automatics in so doggone bad, if that's what it takes to fix the schedule, whatever. But we got to change the portal date, and we can't have teams taking 20 days off in between games. Just can't happen.
Yeah, 16, it's a lot of teams. Probably a lot of teams that don't deserve
12
it, but
is a lot.
It gets rid of the buys.
You and I are in both agreements that 12 is way too much.
It's not basketball. It's just not. And that's where if you're thinking about major formatting, it's different. College baseball, it's about the regionals. You get to the regionals, then you get to the World Series. It's not that many teams. A lot of teams get an opportunity to do it, but it just doesn't work like that. I think football is great because it's supposed to be exclusive. You're supposed to be near perfect in that sport. That has always been the identity of college football is perfection. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Christian Cat. We'll take a time out here. 888-760-3776. Would you be in favor of a 24-team college football playoff like the Big Ten is suggesting in a internally thrown around document? We'll get into a lot more, including Trinidad Chambliss being granted his 6th year of eligibility, a hero of this past year's playoff. He was in a bit of a court hearing with the NCAA on his eligibility because he played 4 years at Ferris State, including a medical redshirt year in which he was sick and he didn't play a snap. And the NCAA did not want to get him that extra year of eligibility. He only played 1 year at the top level at Ole Miss. So that's just a good move that they are allowing him to play. I thought he should have went to the NFL, but neither here nor there. 888-760-3776. Mike's best friend, Dory in Boca, joins the program. Dory, welcome in. How you doing today? What's on your mind?
Very well, thank you. I just want to say Tulane did have a Cinderella football team. They beat USC in the Rose Bowl. USC, I don't remember all their names. USC had the Heisman Trophy winner. And I think all of Tulane's thunder got taken away because a guy had basically a heart attack on the football field later that day. So instead of everyone talking about, wow, look at this upset, everyone was talking about, oh my God, this, which obviously took precedence. This man was saved on the football field. He was clinically dead. So we did get beat terribly by Ole Miss, but I just have to say they did have a Cinderella team. But at that time, I think there were only 4 teams in the playoffs, so it can happen, and that's all I'm saying.
So you want this? You want more teams to be involved in the college football playoff? Am I getting that to the bottom line?
I want more. No, because the reality is football's a tough game. I don't want more teams. I think this year was the perfect amount, but you can say, and Tulane got in absolutely fairly. They got in. They won their division. They won whatever they needed to do to get into the playoffs, and they lost. But I don't think it needs to be longer because the reality is football is much harder on your body than practically any other sport. And the other thing is, even the year before or one year, Florida was in the Orange Bowl, and I don't remember if I think they even lost. And they had no one from their team because everyone was in the portal or people were going pro. So if you have a team that gets you there and they have either juniors or seniors who are going to become pros, well, this was before they had NIL or whatever. But, you might not even be playing with the team that got you to the playoffs.
Appreciate the call, Tori. Thank you for chiming in. I believe you're talking about the Tulane USC game.
I mean,
which
she's
Caleb
talking
Williams
about,
played. Is it that one?
The 46-45 meaningless football game that was played on January 2nd.
What bowl game was that? That was not the Rose Bowl, was it?
No, and let me pull up the box score. They listen. That I understand what she's saying. How it was an upset. That was a Goodyear Cotton Bowl.
That was Cotton Bowl.
It was before the 12-team playoff. It was the last year of the 14 playoff in 2023. They technically didn't make the college football playoff, but I get it.
Because the Rose Bowl that year was Michigan, Alabama.
Listen, I understand her point. I still stand by what I said. Tulane could have played Ole Miss 400 times. They were never winning that game. John Summerall had his foot out the door to Florida already. They were completely outmatched in the game. That was never happening. They were never winning that game. That's the point I was trying to make.
And the one thing I would add to that is I think Mike's being a little hyperbolic. It is possible. But you're winning 1 out of 15. You're winning 1 out of 20.
They could play, I maybe, but Colin, you play 100 times. They're not losing that game.
What is at that point, the odds are just it's a 16-point spread. Do we really need more of that just because of the slim possibility? I think Dory's right, though. I think we
don't need more.
You don't need that many games. You don't need that many more games. That's it. You got to. We're talking about the season goes too far into the following new year, and we're talking about adding more.
Colin, the Cinderellas this year were JMU and Tulane. It's never happening. They were never winning those. That's the point I'm trying to make. They were never winning those games.
Well, definitely not with 3 weeks off to prepare.
They were never winning those games.
2.5 weeks, 3 weeks to prepare. You're definitely not winning that game.
Time off, talent discrepancy, the whole thing. They were never winning the game.
888-760-3776. We'll take a time out here. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
The 4 p.m. hour on ESPN 106.3 is served by the Delray Beach Open. 140 miles per hour aces, parties, and all the good vibes. Get your tickets today at DelrayBeachOpen.com.
What's the Anajar Levine difference? When you're injured in a car crash, we focus on your case so you can focus on the one thing that matters most. Getting better. I'm Glenn Levine with Anajar Levine. We'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. We'll help you take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, West Palm Beach.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Hi, I'm Michael Manzo, owner and founder of Manzo's Italian Deli, and
Stop, Dad. After 20 years, people are tired of hearing your voice.
Yeah, and your lame-ass commercials.
Fresh prosciutto, mozzarella, outstanding.
Oh, please.
There's only one reason Manzo's has voted #1 deli in Palm Beach County for 20 years. Our mother.
She makes sure you prepare everything from scratch using only the freshest ingredients.
Manzo's Italian Deli is located on Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, right next to Rain Dancers.
Is that a strip club?
No, it's a steakhouse. Manzo's is open weekdays from 8 to 5 and offers free delivery. So stop by or call 697-9411. That's 697-9411.
we also specialize in hot and cold catering for corporate functions and special events.
Just ask anyone who was at my last birthday party.
Love is in the air this Valentine's Day, and this gift lasts longer than roses. A free water test from Culligan. Culligan's advanced filtration and softening systems reduce harsh chemicals, giving you cleaner, safer, better tasting water. Come on now. Give your home some love. Schedule your free water test at Culligan.com. Serving all of South Florida. Culligan Water. Water you love.
Hey, Culligan man.
The countdown is on to Palm Beach's PGA Tour event. The Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches returns to PGA National Resort and Spa to kick off the Florida Swing February 25th through March 1st. Secure your spot to watch the pros take on one of golf's toughest stretches of holes at the iconic Bear Trap, while enjoying plenty of fan activities, local bites, drinks, and more. Tickets are on sale now at thecognizantclassic.com. Don't forget, 2 kids get in free with each ticketed adult.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
I guess it's a whole lot more you could potentially make some money on if you are got 24 teams in the playoff, or if you're taking bets right now on Chelsea to dominate and you're winning big money, you put it away over in Flagler Credit Union.
Absolutely, folks. Flagler is that local name that we all know and love. And Flagler Credit Union, a division of Dort Financial, they offer personal and business banking options that'll help you manage your finances. I needed a bank when I came here in West Palm, and I went with that great local name, Flagler. If you need money, folks, if you need money to buy a home, make home improvements, take a vacation, you're paying for that expensive college, paying for that expensive high school. Oh, God, my car needs a new engine. If you need to take some money out, well, you got to do it with Flagler because they're a non-for-profit cooperative, which means they will charge less for that car, for that new home, the vacation you always wanted to do. Think of Flagler when you need money because they will give you a better offer. They got 4 convenient locations across Palm Beach County, Boca Raton, Lake Clark Shores, North Palm Beach, and West Palm. I go to the West Palm location because I am right here in Palm Beach Lakes. Flagler Credit Union is the official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics. Open up an account today. Visit flaglercu.org for more information or stop by one of their 4 locations. Can't wait to see the Flagler boys in the flesh coming up on Tuesday. Brad and the boys coming on down. Cannot wait for that. That is Flagler Credit Union, folks. See what they can do for you.
888-760-3776. Number to get into the program on Russo and Rizzo. The Big Ten floating around a document that has a 23 plus 1, so 24-team college football playoff. They want to elect for more teams getting in, and therefore a bigger and larger tournament format. We go to John and Jensen Beach on the program now. John, welcome in. What's on your mind?
How are we doing, gentlemen? Happy Friday. So I am a big proponent of expanding this thing just based on the chance, right? We see it in the basketball tournament. Every now and again, it's happened maybe 3 or 4 times in my lifetime. You get that 16 seed that bites the 1 seed. And it's the story of the year when it happens. Yes, it doesn't happen often, but don't tell me that we should be taking Cinderella out of the ballroom just because they have a chance, when the fact is they have a puncher's chance, 1 in 20 or whatever it is. Let's see it.
John, you've been watching too much St. John hoops, partner.
By the way, great outcome in that game for me. Just so you know.
Don't like that.
Partner,
John,
man over here. John, hear me out. Ole Miss wouldn't have lost that game if they played 100 times. Would you agree with me?
99.
All right. Oregon wouldn't lose.
99-1. Again, 9-1. I agree. Duke's not going to. Who is it? UVA against UMBC a couple years ago. 100 games played, 99 out of 100. Virginia beats UMBC, but that one, man.
Partner, hear me out on this. And sorry for the big pushback, but like rewind to when Jack Golke beat Kentucky. They won that game and bounced Calipari because he was 10 of 12 from 3. You can't necessarily do that in college football. I think college football is too much of a team sport for a Cinderella like that to happen.
I disagree. I think if this format holds, 12 teams or whether they expand it, if within the next 10 years, you're going to have a G5 school come up and beat a Power 4 in that first round. It's going to happen.
Well, I mean, how about this? The last thing I'd say here is it harder in your eyes? You directly correlated it to the NCAA tournament in basketball. Is it harder or not as hard for a outmatched team to beat a overly dominant team in a one-off Cinderella format?
I actually think the thing that makes it harder in football is the fact that it's not a neutral, that you're on campus, right? Whereas in the basketball tournament, it's at a neutral most of the time.
I agree with that.
So I think that's the one thing that would tilt it a little bit toward. But if it was on a neutral field, like if they play the second round of neutral fields, I think that it's the same. A 16 versus 1 or a 12 versus 1 in football, I think those are equal. You're talking about, remember, basketball has a lot of conferences that don't have D1 football, right? Those are technically FCS football schools. So, but you have, the Missouri Valley Conference winner going up against the, SEC champion, 16 versus 1. That's James Madison versus Oregon. That's exactly the same thing.
Now, John, are you the guy with all the TVs?
I have, yes, my living room is well equipped.
You're my guy. You're my guy who has the 15 screens. Partner, I think you got to watch more Tulane football. They were never beating Ole Miss. I'll end with that.
You know what? So, let me push back on this. If Summerall is not, and there's a whole other conversation about the sport in general with the coaches out the door. If Summerall is fully committed to Tulane and he's not taking the Florida job, and he's 100% committed and he smokes up some kind of game plan, that game's different. I think it's not that Tulane's going to win, but I think it's closer.
Appreciate the call, John.
Thanks,
Thank you
John.
so much.
Thank you, John.
Couple things I would add to this. Number one, I just checked the numbers because I had to double check. About 11 out of 160 in the last 160 games, that is the 2 seed losing. Only 11 times is the 15 seed won, and the 1 seed, I believe, was only lost twice, and that's UMBC and Fairleigh Dickinson twice in about a 3-year period. So I understand. I do with the puncher's chance. The couple things I think John made the best point was it's not a neutral field. You're playing if you're the East Region 1 seed. Yeah, if you have Duke's there, they might be playing in Charlotte, or UConn might be playing in Boston, but they're not playing in their home pavilion. They're not their home building. So you to expect a Houston team to go up to an undefeated Ohio State or an undefeated Georgia and to beat them in their building, yes, it's possible. But bottom line, when we have 1 out of every 70 of those actually happen to be a Cinderella, and the 68 of the other 70 of them are 2-score games, is that really worth the squeeze? Is that really worth the extra effort to expand it? I understand the wanting for a Cinderella. I just don't think football lends itself to that. I think there's 22 aspects of it. I think the talent gap is far greater in football just off of size, speed, and strength. And I also think that football teams get, $25 million rosters, and a lot of those other schools have a quarter of that. So you got 5 guys versus 22. I just think so much more has to go right for football. It just doesn't lend itself to it. I just don't think it's worth the squeeze. I don't.
It's not. You don't get I personally think it was the correct correlation that I made. You're not going to get a Jack Golke that's going to make, 85% of his threes shooting 12, having 30 points from threes. You can't necessarily do that in football. A quarterback, in order to be successful, needs to have time to throw. A quarterback needs to, in some cases you could throw it in a tight window, fine. But you're going to need receivers to create separation. That's the sport. There's no hero ball in football. Even a running back. The running back needs an offensive line. There's too much.
They're playing different sports.
Yes.
They're playing different sports. Basketball, it's much easier to alleviate that. I understand the point. I understand the fight. But to me, you only get a couple of these games a year. There's 68 teams in the NCAA tournament, and you could play 150 games in a weekend. You only get 12 games a week in college football. You get 10 games a week. You get 8 games a week. Having 7 of them be crappy for the possibility that once in every 40 years, one of them is a big upset, I don't think that's worth it. Yeah, the 16 seeds are supposed to lose to the 1 seed in the NCAA tournament, but good news, there's 4 of those games, and there's 100 other games going on at the same time. So you could get away with it. So I understand the fight back. I really do. It makes sense, but I do not think it's the right move.
It gives the non-Power 5 schools, hey, like, we were here.
You're not even putting in the Missouri Valley champion. You're putting in big, Power 5 teams that were underachieved in the regular season. That's who you're putting in. You're putting in Minnesota if they have a big year.
Like, was Tulane, was that their Super Bowl this year, Kyle, losing to Ole Miss the way they did and making the playoff?
I think winning the American, getting into the playoff is a success story.
And what stinks is, and what's the nature of any beast is, you lost your head coach, and Summerall's on the Florida, and that's a season that you're probably going to remember for a long time. I understand. A lot of the times with these teams and how you look at success is expectation. There's bigger expectations at Alabama, preferably, than Tulane. I get all that. But in the end of the day, if you're a neutral watching these games, did you really realistically enjoy watching that Ole Miss at Tulane game? This goes back to what the conversation we had with Theo Dorsey, from Theoretically Speaking, you could hear from 2 to 4, of what we think is a good game. Colin and I think what's a good game is it's going down to the wire. It's a one-score game. It could go either way. It's a coin flip all the way until the end. Unless our teams are playing a la UConn Hoops or Ohio State basketball, we want a good game.
Competitive. That's all you want. I want the most competition. I want the highest competition throughout the year. And that, to me, is a more exclusive playoff and the better possible teams in the actual field. That's the bottom line. That's all I'm looking for. I don't think you need more teams. Because I don't think it lends itself to more competitive games. I think it lends itself to the opposite, less competitive games. Look at Indiana. They didn't sweat for 8 quarters leading up to that championship. So I don't necessarily sit there on the fence that this could go one way or the other. I'm firmly in the belief that you got to keep the regular season strong. You got to keep its validity, and that's the way to do it. If you keep it 12, maybe even 16. Mike Rizzo, Colin, Russo, Christian, Cat. Listen, if you're driving on 95, you get into a little bit of a fender bender, don't know who to call. You got to call Anajar and Levine. Because if you've been in that car accident, truck accident, Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine at Anajar on the Levine Accent 30s, they like to fight for you. They don't charge you unless you win. They work tirelessly to get you the maximum compensation that you deserve. They got your back. They got my back. They got everybody's back. All you got to do is make that call because you don't need to settle for anybody. Go get the best. Go demand the best. Demand Anajar and Levine. Take that one phone call. Take back control of your life. Don't wait. Call it the free consultation today. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Take back control with Anajar and Levine. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Christian Cat. We'll take a time out here on ESPN 106.3.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Baseball fans, spring training 2026 is officially underway. It is here. Cacti Park of the Palm Beaches is the place to be all season long. Right here in West Palm Beach, the Astros and the Nationals are hosting some of baseball's biggest names. That's the Cardinals, Mets, Yankees, Marlins, Orioles, Phillies, Pirates. Even Team Venezuela is coming this baseball season. Nothing beats a day at Cacti. That sunshine, the crack of the bat, family time, cold drinks, amazing ballpark eats in one spot. It really is the best seat in baseball. Runs now through March 22nd. Tickets are going quickly, so go take advantage of the fan-favorite promotions such as Youth Sports Sundays, Sunday Brunch, Hero Days, Senior Days, Bark in the Park, fireworks, college night. They have it all. Bring the family. Go get a 4-for-4 family pack. 4 tickets, 4 dogs, 4 drinks, and 4 chips. Visit cactipark.com to lock in your seats. Spring training baseball is here in West Palm Beach. Do not miss a moment.
And Kyle, if I can, I was there today. We saw Chris, big listener of the show.
Yep.
Colin and I were going to be there on Monday. So Chris, Grace Russell, our team and I, we appreciate you helping us out today. And Colin and I look forward to seeing you on Monday.
Cacti Park will be a lot of fun. That'll be the governor's dinner. So looking forward to that. Maybe we could get DeSantis on. You think they'll put him on?
I hope so. Would love to have the governor on.
Governor would be fun. That'd be a fun get.
Be our biggest get. Outside of Stephen A. and your dad, I think that would be the biggest get.
He's never come on.
Your dad's been on the show, no?
No, he has not.
Or he's been on, I'm sorry.
He works during this time.
I'm sorry. He's on your Sunday program.
Yeah,
Sunday he's on
once or
Sunday
twice.
Huddle.
But, yeah, that'd be a big get. I'd like to get Governor DeSantis. That'd be fun.
And then the pastor wasn't.
Father Rob?
Hang on.
Father Rob is a friend of the show.
Christian, I know what you're doing. Don't slight Father Rob.
Yeah,
right?
don't do
Okay,
that.
I won't slight Father. I'll slight booking Father Rob. How about that?
There's a wrong. Hey, Christian's
you're
wrong
dead-
here. Christian's wrong.
Dead
here.
wrong.
Booking Father Rob the day Pope Leo was anointed as the next pope was a big get.
I'm going to steal Colin's words here. Breaking down the new pope that is American, going right into sports gambling on the NBA playoffs with the Boston Celtics. That is what sports radio is about.
There was an eviction notice left on our radio tower. People weren't happy.
That is, Colin, that is what sports radio is about. Breaking down the Pope, going right into gambling with a priest.
Thoroughly agree. Couldn't even agree more. Trinidad Chambliss was granted his 6th year of collegiate eligibility, went to the NCAA, appealed the losing that 5th year. So he only played 1 year at the top Division I level with Ole Miss. And outside of that, he was a Division II player at Ferris State. And he missed 1 full season because of some complication with a sickness, an illness. So he was down weight, lethargic, fatigued. So he missed an entire year. And the NCAA, I guess, was trying to argue that that was not a true medical redshirt season. But he is granted that extra year. He will be playing, being quarterback for Ole Miss next year. They definitely needed that. That is a huge bring back for them.
There aren't a lot of quarterbacks in the country that are better than this gentleman that's coming back. I mean, you look around the country, you go Big Ten, you go SEC. I'd put Chambliss up with any returning quarterback in college football next year.
I don't know why he left, why he's not leaving. I don't know why. Unless he doesn't view himself or the NFL teams does not give him, the slight that he's an NFL quarterback. Maybe he's making too much money at Ole Miss. Why would I go enter into the circus and, be a backup somewhere and, fight for my life essentially within the first 3 years when I could buy myself an extra year? Maybe it was that. I understand, but part of me thinking that you had as good of a finish in your collegiate career as you could probably ask for. In the sense that you had 2 major games in the college football play, 3, if you want to include the Tulane game. And why wouldn't you capitalize on that? And especially in a quarterback-light draft where there's teams like the Jets that are looking around, looking up at the ceilings, waiting for a quarterback to fall from the sky, and there's not going to be one that comes to them. So I don't know why he's not doing this. I mean, who are they waiting for? But unless his agent is however money he's making, whether it's a couple $1 million, if I had to guess, sounds like this is the decision he was on for the get-go. I just don't think, if they denied it and he went to the league, I don't think it would have been that big of a deal.
The only thing I could come up with, Colin, is that he's really trying to set himself up to be the number 1 pick. He's trying to be the best quarterback in college next year and be the number 1 pick. I agree with you, though. I'm seeing mock drafts that have Ty, and listen, I like Ty Simpson. He did his time at Alabama, waited his turn, and was the quarterback. But Colin, he is not a first-round draft pick. And I'm seeing mock drafts, way too early mock drafts, that have Ty Simpson going in the 20s. If Ty Simpson is going in the 20s, that young man will also go in the first round. But my best guess He's trying to be the number one pick. Let's go to him. I got some.
He won't be the number one pick.
I got Brendan Sorsby, Sam Levitt, Drew Mestamaker. Those are arguably the 3 top quarterbacks not named Trinidad Chambliss in college football next year. Some people have the young Julian Sayin on there as well. But the point I'm trying to make is Chambliss is, in my opinion, probably the best returning starter. If he were to enter the portal, say he wasn't going back to Ole Miss, I think he probably would have had a higher grade than Sam Levitt. Just because he did it at the best possible competition level in the college football playoff.
I guess he's just not a little bit of a prototypical professional quarterback. That's probably the thing, that he's shorter. He's based on his speed. He throws a great ball. But he's just not necessarily, he's not big. He's not a pocket passer. I think that probably holds him back a little bit, but I'm surprised he didn't capitalize.
He impressed me against that Miami defense.
He was great.
The 3 top defenses last year, Indiana, Miami, and Ohio State. And I could argue that Miami defense could have been the number 1 unit. And he willed them down the field to be in that game numerous times. He scored
27 points against them. They were better offensively against Miami than Indiana was.
The second half, Chambliss was brilliant. He was brilliant in that fourth quarter.
Right. So I don't know why he wouldn't want to go to the league, because my opinion, personal opinion, I don't know if drafted incorrectly or he doesn't test well. That's a professional quarterback. That kid can make a roster. That kid can make a roster. I don't know if he'd start. He probably wouldn't start, but he could be an NFL player. Maybe that's the whole reason. Unless we're under the impression that he'll be an immediate starter, why go? But if you're going to capitalize on, when striking the iron's hot, look what Drew Aller did. Drew Aller could have went to the draft after the playoff last year. He did not. He came back, and now we're looking at undrafted. And he probably would have been a first-round pick if he left last year.
Not even close.
He would have been a first-round pick. And he would have been a top 45 pick, easy.
Colin, it worked out for him, but I'm going to bring up another one. Justin Herbert. Herbert went back to college and hurt his draft stock. Granted, listen, he's a starting quarterback. He chokes in the playoffs, but he's, a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. It worked out for him, but sometimes, to Colin's credit with Aller, it doesn't. And who knows? Listen, I hope Aller could make something out of a pro career. It'd be a great story. But he hurt himself.
Cost himself millions and millions of dollars.
And the injury factor is another thing. I'm knocking on wood because you don't want to see a young man like that, But that's a whole nother aspect of it, of you're banking on staying healthy in the most violent sport you could possibly play.
Yeah. Just reading through the story, it is fascinating just what the NFL, what straws they were trying to grasp with this story. They were trying to make it a scene that the fact is that Trinidad Chambliss did not take a season-ending surgery when he was dealing with his illness a number of years ago, 2022, and he didn't take a season-ending surgery, and because of that, they're holding it against him to not grant him that extra year of eligibility because they didn't think he was doing his best to get back on the field as quickly as possible, which is a waste of time.
Yeah.
Just to even argue.
And that was at
like
Ferris State?
Yes, in Division II.
Okay, just wanted to double check.
So it's just stupid how you see guys all over collegiate sports, 7th year, 8th year. I've seen 9th year. The kid from McCormick at Miami was a 9th year player. You see all that all the time throughout collegiate sports, and now we're going to draw the line for the guy that kind of worked his way up from Division II. That's stupid.
Well, good thing is the NCAA cannot win a court case, and this young man is rightfully playing college football next year.
Yeah, good. So I guess he wants to hang around. Makes Ole Miss definitely a lot more dangerous into next year. But that kid's a pro. That kid is a pro, right?
He could have been a first-round pick, in my opinion, this year. If not first-round, second round.
He just had a little Russell Wilson to him.
It's always like
good deep ball. He could run. He evades the pocket well.
I think he would have done well. Maybe I'm wrong on this, Colin. I think he would have done well at the combine for all the nerds there. You always see that combine guy. I thought Chambliss could have been the combine guy.
He would have been fast. He would have been really fast.
He could jump. He's athletic as hell.
He's not big. He's not a big player. And I guess that's, people want less Kyler Murray in the size department.
Well, I think he's bigger than Kyler. No? Am I wrong on that?
Yeah, he's
bigger.
A little bigger.
He's bigger.
He's a little bigger than him.
But
Kyler, that hurt them.
Yeah.
So I understand both sides. But good that he'll be back.
The injured factor too. The injury factor, I feel like, is a lot of the things too.
With the new coach too, and he said he would come back to Ole Miss from the get-go. He did say that during the playoff. He said, "I will be at Ole Miss as long as they grant me my extra year of eligibility."
Correct me if I'm wrong. He was the backup quarterback this year.
Yes, it was behind Austin Simmons, and Austin Simmons got hurt like the second game.
Yep.
First game.
Yep.
Guy took the reins, ran with it, and they never looked back. And that was it.
Yep.
That's bizarre. He went to Ole Miss probably to ride out a career and just have 1 year at the collegiate level and see if anything comes of it. And he ended up becoming a starter, and not only a starter, a very good starter.
And the NCAA didn't want him to come back.
Good for him.
Yeah,
Good for him.
we're high on Chambliss on this program.
Yeah, we're also high on Hard Rock Bet, which you could download today, and you could bet on anything. That's from Winter Olympics. You got the United States men's going at it again tomorrow throughout the weekend. You got all that action in one spot. Collegiate sports. You got the NBA in the regular season right now. If you want to bet against the bad teams because they're tanking, you could do that on the app. Hard Rock Bet is your place to get started because if you refer a friend, you get $50 into your bonus as a bonus bet into your account immediately. Check out the Discover page. See what type of parlays that you could tag along on. All of a sudden, you don't really know what to bet, what to put money on. You check it out. You see somebody get, the 6-leg parlay right here with 6 games never heard of. That sounds like a lot of fun to tail. You could do that on the app. It is that easy. The interface is perfect. It caters to the player that's new and the player that's experienced. Try it today. Download the App Store. It is offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus, physically present in Florida. The wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you're somebody you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE. We'll loop in Christian Cat in the conversation next. We'll do a little 5 and 5. Stay tuned for it. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
What would you do with an extra $700? You can earn up to $700 per year with Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Boost Checking pays 7.0 annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $700 extra to do what you love. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit 1 checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
Car buying just leveled up at Greenway Kia West Palm Beach. We're now open at 7 a.m. Shop early, skip the crowds, and get on with your day. No pressure, no nonsense. Just real people who listen, including female sales professionals ready to help. And check this out. The invoice is on every new car. No games, no surprises. No time to stop by? We bring the test drive to you, home or office. Buy the right way at Greenway Kia West Palm Beach. Early, easy, exceptional.
Love is in the air this Valentine's Day, and this gift lasts longer than roses. A free water test from Colin. Culligan's advanced filtration and softening systems reduce harsh chemicals, giving you cleaner, safer, better tasting water. Come on now. Give your home some love. Schedule your free water test at Culligan.com. Serving all of South Florida. Culligan Water. Water you love.
Hey, Culligan man.
Anajar and Levine. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Hi, I'm Janice Ridenour from J. Zello & Associates. For nearly 30 years, my firm has worked alongside business owners and their teams, helping them truly understand QuickBooks with clear accounting guidance, proven workflows, and hands-on training. We offer customized QuickBooks Online training delivered in a supportive, judgment-free environment so you can learn at your pace. If you're stressed about your books, you don't have to be. Get trained, get confident, get it right. And when you need ongoing support or you'd rather have it done for you, our experienced team is here to help. Visit jzolo.com and schedule your free consultation today.
This Valentine's Day, give the one you love a gift with endless possibilities. Give a gift card to the Breakers Palm Beach. Breakers gift cards let you treat the one who matters most to the things they love the most, like irresistible oceanfront getaways, lessons at the Breakers' new golf and racket club, pampering at the exquisite spa, and shopping at the resort's stylish collection of on- and off-site boutiques. Gift cards may also be used for dining at the Breakers' renowned restaurants and bars, including Echo, Henry's Palm Beach, HMF, and Flagler's Steakhouse. What's even better? For a limited time, when you purchase a $500 gift card online at thebreakers.com, you'll receive an additional $50 on that card, compliments of the Breakers. This Valentine's Day, give the one you love a gift card to the Breakers Palm Beach and remind them why they fell in love with you in the first place. Visit thebreakers.com today.
ESPN 106.3 is your home for live sports, presented by Hard Rock Bet, the home of Inter Miami, the Florida Panthers, and the Miami Heat, with all of the biggest live events in sports. If it's happening in sports, it's happening right here on ESPN 106.3, South Florida's home for sports, presented by Hard Rock Bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus, physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or somebody you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Now, it's time for a little R&R.
Colin to the bucket, lays it up and in.
Ball game, Rizzo! Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy!
Light him up, Colin!
Second hour of Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. We're streaming live on YouTube at ESPN South Florida and ESPN West Palm on Twitter and Facebook. It is Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, and Christian Cat. We're at the City Place Studios having a grand old time here on Friday the 13th, pre-Valentine's Day. Christian has plans, I believe. Are you going to Chicago this weekend, Christian?
No, I'm in town.
You're not going to Chicago for Valentine's Day?
No.
He did that last weekend.
Well, that last weekend wasn't Valentine's Day.
Well, I'm assuming you guys celebrated last weekend.
Yeah. Watch the Super Bowl.
That's a no. That's a Super Bowl weekend. Wow. All right. Mike, do you have plans?
No, don't remind me.
You do not.
No, but a teammate invited me into some plans, and I may or may not meet that person out on Saturday. It's not what you think. It's me meeting a group of friends out. It's not a date.
So you're going to do a singles night?
Maybe.
You set up with somebody?
No. It would be me having to, go out and find love.
You gotta eat what you kill.
Boys, I told you, ever since I was, probably 5 years sober, I'm not pickup girl at the bar guy. It's not my game anymore. It's a young man's game, man. I love going out, dancing, having fun with friends. I'm all for that. But yeah, tomorrow night I'll have to make the executive decision, Christian, if I want to go on the town and see some ladies.
Gen Z Mike. It's all about the apps these days.
God.
Who's in town.
I don't do those godforsaken apps. That's a waste of time.
All right, so if you don't do the apps.
Yeah, we're drawing the client pool down quite a bit.
You're right. You're right. So it's,
So it's just word of mouth?
Maybe,
You put feelers out?
I'm a big in-person type of guy. I don't do well when it comes down to, did you DM the right thing to this girl or did you say the right? I'm a very in-person person. And I feel like if you're a lady, you will know immediately if I'm your type or not. You know what? And listen, it's been like that my whole life. So
now
I don't change. I don't change.
Right. That's what confuses me about the I don't, meet a girl at a bar type of guy. Doesn't that contradict?
I did for years, but I switched up my game for the better. Like, I'm no longer getting blacked out drunk and regretting things that I did the night before.
See, now it's like libraries and coffee shops.
Yeah. And having the to go up to a girl and introduce yourself and let her know she's pretty.
Okay.
That's it. One of these days I'm going to muster up the will to say something to a girl who I actually think is pretty, who I see a lot. But, we're still trying to find the courage to do it. No names, please.
Oh, she goes to the pool that you are at, right? That girl?
No.
Who's this one?
I'll tell you guys at a later date. I'll tell you.
Do I know who she is?
Yeah, I've brought her up to you.
Have I met her?
Let's just say she's a frequent flyer of where we work, like around the area where we work, and I think she's really pretty.
Does she get her nails done across the street?
I don't think so.
Okay,
I don't think so.
Well, but I've never met this person.
We're walking back to the car the other day.
I see. I'm following.
Does she bag my pub soap?
I do not know this person.
We do, and for the record, I don't either. I just think she's gorgeous. And Colin and I were walking back to the car, and there was a prime opportunity for Romeo over here to say something, and the cat got my tongue. It's one of those moments. My buddies and I have a saying. It's one of those moments you go, hey, I, and you freeze up, and that's it.
Okay.
That's it. And that's
Were you
exactly
a big Valentine's Day guy?
If I let's put it this way: if I had a significant other, I would have booked a really fancy restaurant tonight. I'm big on chocolates.
It's tomorrow night.
Like tomorrow night. Colin, me coming from at least my family and how you do it. The person you love, you get if you want them to be your Valentine on that day, you get them chocolates.
See,
you get them fancy chocolates.
We got to run through this. You can't just walk into the first time that you're going to come up to this woman and profess your interest in her.
How about during the commercial break, you get some chocolates and you hand it to her on the walk to the car?
Run over to Publix and just, grab the fanciest bag I see.
Will you be my Valentine? Hey, listen, if there's an opportunity,
I haven't seen her around town today.
All right, Colin, you be the woman. Mike, you be Mike.
La da da da.
Action.
Wait, one more time.
La da da da. I'm walking.
Hey,
hi.
Name's Mike. I work around here in Rosemary.
My name's Laura, by the way.
Laura, so great to meet you. This is so out of the blue. Laura, this is so out of the blue. But, I see you around. I never really had the courage to go up to you. But today, finally mustered up some courage. I think you're really pretty, and I would love to get to know you more. Is there any way I could give you my card?
Your card?
Yeah, my card.
Are you trying to sell me something?
No. I actually want to take you on a date. It just has my cell phone number on it.
Do you have a phone on you?
I do have my phone on.
What if I just give you my
That would work. That would work a lot better. That would work a lot better.
Let me think about it.
Okay. Fair enough.
All right.
You're not selling or anything. Don't give her the card.
There? What went wrong there?
Hang on.
Let's evaluate the tape.
Hear me out. The card has worked for me. With girlfriends in the past.
A business card?
And listen, if they're interested, they'll hit you up. If not, they'll rip it up and throw it in the trash.
It's like a Trojan horse.
Ball's in their court. Do you want to know what the card does? My brother says the same thing about the card. I think he's dead wrong. The card puts the ball in their court. You know I'm interested in you. You know I think you're pretty. I said all the things that I wanted to say. The card puts the ball in their court.
Yeah, but you got to want the ball. You want to get there and get it. You got to put up a 3.
I thought I made it clear.
A funny part of the tape is Mike did not ask for my name. Like he just starts going. I'm like, Laura, by the way.
Yeah, actually.
All right.
Thank you.
What can we fix?
Well, first off, ask her name.
Take 2.
Hi, I'm Mike. I work down here at Rosemary.
She grabs her bag and holds it away from you.
Pulls some pepper spray out.
Laura. Laura, by the way. Oh,
yeah.
Right.
Well, nice to meet you. Realistically, though, one of these days, I hope to muster some courage up to say it. Issue is, I just think it's so damn creepy, no? Like, I think that whole exchange there was so, unless...
It was creepy because it's 2 guys on a radio show.
Well, that too. But realistically, Christian...
Let me go to the office. I'll find a woman that we could simulate.
Would you like that?
By the way, we have a teammate saying the card is a bad move. I disagree. The card has worked multiple times. I stand by that.
But why? Here's the thing. If you want to know interest, you tell them you're interested and hey, would you be interested in ever getting coffee sometime? Done. And then if they say yes, then great. If they don't say yes, all right, you move on with your life. You don't need to give them a card and play the waiting game.
I don't know. The card has worked multiple times with women that I have had extended relationships with.
You should just have a QR code of just
right on my forehead. You
want to scan this?
Put on my forehead.
My Instagram's there. My Twitter's there.
Yeah, but everyone around this office likes to joke around and say that I have a quote roster. That's not true. I am very much so single.
Like how you're airing this out.
But because people hear one story and it's like, oh yeah, Mike. No. Very single. Very available, and I may or may not go out Saturday and muster up some courage to this beautiful girl that I've been seeing around town.
You're bringing business cards.
That's what I'm getting? No, I don't do that at the bar. I don't do that at the bar.
You don't do that at the bar.
No.
Only down the street.
Only at a crosswalk.
Only at the sidewalk.
I'm not handing business cards out at the bar, correct?
Okay.
No.
So, tape, I would say the first thing, let's just make sure we get her name out of the way. Hey, I'm Mike. What's your name? All right. I look at me. Coaches don't play, by the way. And
you're the last person. By the way, the kid who's never been in a relationship, and I can't tell you the last time he kissed a girl. Okay.
Why would you know that?
I don't know. I'm guessing, Nate.
Why would you know that information?
I think it's been a little bit. Regardless, I don't think Christian is the guy to ask here, who's been in a healthy relationship for 8 years.
All right, Christian, what are your notes for Mike's film? You were the third party here.
All right, so first things first. You got to yell from like 25 yards away so that she's not disrupted and afraid of your immediate presence.
Hey, hold up. Hey, hang on. Am I pulling a Chubbs Peterson with a Happy Gilmore? You know what? Hey there. You know what I mean? When Chubbs runs up to Happy at the Waterbury Open, that's what I'm doing.
You have to make your presence felt before it's threatening. You can't just pop on Mike Rizzo in your face.
You got to realize I'm a loud person. So, like, that's how you know. Like,
all right, so Christian says Mike should yell from across the street. And then what else?
Hey, I like your shoes. Compliment something about her that is not purely
the Drake and Josh method.
Someone's on to me.
I see. Love Drake and Josh. Great show. Drake got,
You acknowledge something that's, you give an obscure compliment.
Yeah. Colin, I think you and Christian saw me with a little bit of game before.
When was this? Game 2 of the Stanley, Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final.
You just ditched your job.
It was the
championship.
Oh, it was Game 6. It was Game 6.
Yeah.
Mike said,
saw a little bit of game there. It was
I didn't see how that conversation started. So Mike is right here. Mike was with a member of the Canadian media.
Yes. The Edmonton crowd. Correct.
Correct.
Foreign invader.
Right. Yeah, I give you credit there, Mike.
Thank you.
You know, Mike.
We still talk to this day.
Mike has no idea what happened in the third period, but he did.
That's why you guys were there.
He had a great.
That's why you guys were there, right?
He had a great time. The best line you had that night was you said, "Can I get you some coffee?" And we were in the media box, so it's free coffee. That was good. I'll give you that.
Yeah, and
I didn't see how that conversation started.
I still talk to her, and the problem is she's a country away, but yeah, I got it. But it's, you guys are right. God, I didn't ask for your name.
Where's that headed?
I didn't ask for the name.
Do you want to try again?
No, we're all good. I'm not putting our listeners through that again.
I
agree. Yeah,
I'm not putting our listeners.
We could talk about the bubble teams.
It's a one and done.
Or we could talk about the godforsaken NBA.
Well, it's a one and done.
Anyway, what did you ask, Christian? Where's that at right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
You're still in touch. You're still friendly with this girl that you want to be remote.
Here's the thing. She's working on some things. She can't leave Canada right now. So, like, that's where we're at. That's where we're at.
Oh, so you need her to drop her life to come to you.
I could go to her, I guess, is what you're alluding to. But I'm the one who lives in South Florida, not the frozen tundra.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying?
So you don't want to visit Edmonton?
I do not want to. I don't think I want to visit Edmonton.
I'm not even.
You could go to an Oiler game.
I think I'm all right.
You don't want to go to Edmonton at all?
I don't think so.
Mike, I've checked. You can get there in 3 flights.
And it's
only.
That's it, Christian. That's it.
You get there in 3 flights. 2 if you're lucky. You'd have to probably go down to Fort Lauderdale, go to Fort Lauderdale, San Francisco.
I don't want to.
Edmonton.
Let's put it. She's not in trouble or anything like that. So don't think it's like that. She's not a criminal.
That's good news.
All right, what? Who said that?
Well,
because
news. Usually when you can't leave the country, Christian, is
you're a fugitive.
But
she's
got a really good. Let's put it this way. She's got a really good job, and Colin is right. I could easily go to Edmonton and see her.
Now,
but at the same time, hey, can I come see you? It's not like I've been invited.
Are you going to text her for Valentine's Day?
It's already been done.
What'd you?
I'll show you in the break.
Early.
I'll show you.
Would you text her a week in advance?
She reached out to me.
Let me be the first to say.
How about this? She reached out to me when she saw I got the Inter Miami job, and
That's 4 days ago.
2 days ago. And I'm not going to air out my DMs on the air. I'll show you what I said. Let's just say Valentine's Day was brought up with this individual.
Was it reciprocated?
Yes.
Wow.
Very much so.
So hold on. Mike led this segment with single, ready to mingle.
I am single, but, very single still.
Yeah, she's not ponying up to the plate,
Very single.
You got a spot in your apartment for her, just waiting on it, but she hasn't taken it.
And listen, life happens. All right. So she's doing her thing. I'm doing my thing.
Wrong person, right?
Right person, wrong time.
Right person,
It's
wrong
been
time.
a lot. Colin, can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
There's been a lot of that in my life, honestly.
Okay. Wow.
Misconnections.
Correct,
but you don't want her to be the
Correct.
next one who got away.
Yeah. It's already looking like that's going to happen, which is okay. I've come to terms.
When did you come to terms with that?
Probably about 4 months ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, probably about 4 months ago.
Did you ever think that this was possible? Long
yeah,
distance?
I did. For a moment, I did.
For how long? 2 months.
When was
June.
When was the Cup?
About June 22nd.
I would say my birthday is when I realized that, like, all right, this is probably never.
So October.
Yeah.
So from June to October, you were
probably
thinking that I could potentially have a long-term relationship with,
correct, and then
with a Canadian.
and then I realized
In
that
Edmonton.
it's just too much. I'm a full body of water away, basically. I know it's land, Colin.
Yeah,
but,
it's all land.
But
Yeah.
you get what you get. It was more or less
Couple
just
lakes.
It was more or less just like a measurement. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
you're a
it's-
hike.
We're a
You're
long way
2,
away.
3 flights.
We're a long way away.
That's all first-class tickets, too.
I probably wouldn't. And then depending on my uncle's points, no, I'm sitting on the aisle or no window seat. If I'm not in first class, I need a window. I need to rest my head.
Then you got to have the
sleep.
awkward
So-
interaction of who you're rooting for in the Olympics.
Mike is looking for a Valentine.
No, I'm not. Don't say that.
You're
I'm
not?
not. No. I'm good. I'm all good.
You're not.
I'm going to meet up with some friends on Saturday.
And then find
And
a
I
Valentine.
understand. Okay, HR Anna, she was nice enough to invite me out with her and her friends. So yeah, I'll be there. Hopefully Lucas and MJ will come too.
And
Then you're out. You're completely out.
I'm out.
Yeah.
And you'll find a Valentine then.
No, because I don't look for love at a bar anymore. I'm 31 years old. I'm just out there to have fun.
All right, Mike's prime hour is in about 45 minutes on the way to the car.
If we see the end,
There it is.
That's when the pheromones are pumping.
This is
and
it.
I think she took the day off.
6:04, 6:05 on that
she took
250-yard walk.
Okay, so
She
she
took
like
the day
lives
off.
or works around here, so she is a frequent flyer.
Christian,
You've
I'm
seen her.
gonna air myself. I literally see her walk by the office almost every single day when we're doing the show.
Wow. Do you like smell her perfume and like float like a cartoon character to a pie in a windowsill?
Well,
No, but I like the reference.
There's a window. There's a
Pie at the windowsill.
For presents. Mike has like the back of his neck, the hair stand up. He gets goosebumps. when
Mike's
she's
in a
near.
romantic mood right now.
Wow.
Mood is certainly a
You wanna
word.
be.
You
31, mate.
You
I'm
yearn
the-
for
I'm last-
romance. You
I'm-
yearn for romance.
I am the last. Like, Colin, you'll come to the.
Your brother's single.
He is, but it's different. I don't know. It's different. My brother, let's put it this way. He's got a lot of options. I don't have options. You get what I'm saying? He could not be single at a drop of a hat. Me, I'm very single. So, like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm following.
Okay. All right.
You think this is an effort thing?
I am 100%, 110%.
All right.
I am at the age, and Christian can't relate because he's been in a relationship for 8 years. You're a baby. So
Thank you.
I am at the age where all my friends are married or are on the way of tying the knot. I am the last single friend of SHS 2013 Riz crew and Ohio State and OU.
What do they tell you?
Stay single.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, they're on top of you for that.
Yeah, they want me to stay single because they, quote, live through me. But I'm over it.
Text them.
I'm over it.
Morning afters. Hey. Successful.
I told you, there's
hunt.
been a lot of that. There's been a lot of that lately. There was an
been a lot
opportunity,
of that.
Chris. Remember how we ended the show? How you wanted to come over a certain day? She already bailed, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, so
She
tonight,
already bailed.
me and you.
I'm candy bar in the door. I got to be up at 7 a.m. for tailgate. I didn't, not tonight.
Oh,
I'm licking
man.
my
I
wounds.
watched a horror movie last
What'd
night.
you
I was
watch?
hiding under
What'd
my
you watch?
covers. I needed Mike Rizzo's presence.
Dude, I went back and watched the best of Paranormal 3. Dude, it is
Why
still
would
as
you do
scary.
that? Why would you do that?
It is still as
Why? No, why would you do that?
It is still Christian.
Didn't you and Christian plan a time where you could watch the movie?
Damn
But
it.
It doesn't matter because
What do you mean
Christian.
it doesn't matter? You just
Christian, it is still as scary as it was the first time I watched that godforsaken movie. Dude, honestly,
why would you do that?
the witches at the end, the whole thing. The whole thing. You know how your algorithm is. I'm scrolling YouTube and all of a sudden paranormal clips start popping up. I'm like, all right,
They're
now
listening.
I got to search the witches scene. But yeah, what are you doing for Valentine's Day?
That's tomorrow.
What's on? What's on? What's on, kid?
Well, tonight's Wisconsin, Michigan State. That's 8 o'clock Fox.
That's a big game.
Saturday.
Dude, that's a big
Friday.
All right.
Christian's never heard of it.
No, Christian.
I'm a Mega Monday fan.
There's no
It's
such
Big
thing
Monday.
as Big Friday.
It's Big Monday. Big
But
Monday's real.
You're lying about Big Friday, right?
Tonight's Freaky
No,
Friday.
it's like Fox Friday.
Tonight's Friday the 13th. There should be some good scary movies on the tube.
All right. So other than that, I have That, and then I'll actually be at the Delray Beach Open tomorrow, so I'll stay busy, which is good.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah. So, and then
maybe you can find a lover there.
I'm
Two tennis
I'm gonna
fans.
be game casting Kansas Iowa State in the middle of it. So we're gonna see what happens. That's a 1:00 game.
Colin could find a tennis gal.
That's true.
A tennis
Very
player?
possible.
A tennis
Well, no,
gal.
someone who's interested in the DBL.
Yeah. Who's helping out. She's got a lot of passion for the game. Knows who, what's that guy? Who did we interview last year?
Marcus Chiron.
Knows who Marcus Chiron is, you know.
But don't forget your business cards.
Yeah, I got to bring
All
my
right, you guys
business
are
cards.
out on that.
I'm
You
not
guys
on
are
that.
out on that.
Not even a
All
little
right,
bit in
fine.
on that.
That's
Not
a
even
ha-
a little bit
You
in
guys
on
are
that.
out on that.
Not even a little bit in
You're
on
out
that.
on that.
As much as you're trying
It's
to muscle
work.
up the courage to approach these women, I feel like that is a half committal.
Okay.
'Cause that's leaving the
Well,
door
what-
open. I might be interested in just business.
You might as well just know. You're waiting.
No, like I make it clear, like, hey, my number's on there. You know, if you're not interested, just throw it away. You know,
Mike, how
That's it.
quickly do you use your job, like in your prospects of women?
Never.
Never. Not ever.
I've never done that. And I know what you're alluding to is that the business card does do that, but they're not looking at the
sure,
business
there's
card
a big
until
ESPN
they're
on
not
it.
they're not looking at. And granted, you got to realize I didn't work for ESPN for about 4 years here. Okay, so it worked when I didn't work for ESPN when I was
Sports radio. It's still pretty cool.
Still, but I just what the card does, it puts the ball in their court. You put the ball in. It's up to them. You said what you needed to say. You didn't come off as a freak, okay? And you just said, "Listen, I don't even want your number. If you're interested, there you go." It's right
You ever come off as a freak?
there. Maybe when I was on the rye and an alcoholic.
Okay.
You know
That's
what I
when you
mean?
gave freak vibes.
I mean, yeah, when I was blacked out drunk, but
Fair.
those days are gone. Thankfully, thank God, thank Jesus.
Now it's a big handshake, a dap up, and in your hand is the business card.
I'm looking forward to the walk with Colin back to the garage. All right.
Clearly you are. I mean, geez, it better go well. I gotta if we see her, I'll stray away. I'll go check my phone.
Knowing Colin, he video, the whole thing.
We're gonna break it down on Monday morning. Nothing
yeah,
else happening this
yeah.
weekend.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll do what we will do is a little 5 and 5 on the other side of things. First things first. We talked about it. Maybe you'll find love at the DBO. Maybe you'll find it, Mike, out and about. Maybe Mike will find it on the way to the car. But if you're a golf fan and you want to sort of knock out two birds with one stone, you want to see some NFL legends play some golf in the Champions Tour, maybe you'll meet somebody there too. That's what you can do at the James Hardy Pro Football Hall of Fame Invitational.
Brian Urlacher, Calvin Johnson, Lawrence Taylor. What do those guys have in common? They're in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. What do they also have in common? They're going to be in Boca Raton at the iconic Old Course at Broken Sound, competing in the James Hardy Pro Football Hall of Fame Invitational. It is back. It is less than a month away, counting down the days, March 6th through the 8th. March 6th through the 8th. Get your tickets now. It's one of the most unique events in sports. It's on the PGA Tour Champions, and it is when you're pairing these Pro Football Hall of Famers with the legends on the golf course. We're talking guys like Ernie Els, Darren Clark, and making his debut on the Champions Tour, it is two-time major champion Zach Johnson. So all those Pro Football Hall of Famers with all of those legends on the golf course, they're in Boca Raton at the Old Course at Broken Sound, March 6th through the 8th. Tickets are starting at just $36 per day. You will not get access like this to this big group of Pro Football Hall of Famers almost anywhere except for Canton. $36 per day is how those tickets start. Get your tickets now at jameshardyinvitational.com. That's James, Hardie, invitational.com. We're going to be there, and you should be too if you consider yourself a golf or football fan.
5 and 5 coming up. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Does your business leave a lasting impression? Attractive, eye-catching signs help you stand out from the crowd and create a strong brand identity. Our team at Signorama West Palm are experts in helping your business get noticed and get effective signage in front of your potential customers. Our team can turn your blank windows or plain vehicles into money-making branding machines by drawing customers' attention to your business. So if you're looking to leave that lasting impression, call us 561-687-7993 or visit signoramawpb.com.
You've seen the PGA Tour's best on the course, but in the arena, it's prime time. Season 2 of TGL presented by SoFi is back with big moments, big personalities, nonstop action on the big screen, shot clocks, hammer drops, timeouts, and overtime. Tickets are on sale now, but availability is limited. Visit TGLGolf.com to get your tickets while they last. TGL presented by SoFi. Keep up. It's golf.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast, professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
This Valentine's Day, give the one you love a gift with endless possibilities. Give a gift card to the Breakers Palm Beach. Breakers gift cards let you treat the one who matters most to the things they love the most, like irresistible oceanfront getaways, lessons at the Breakers' new golf and racket club, pampering at the exquisite spa, and shopping at the resort's stylish collection of on- and off-site boutiques. Gift cards may also be used for dining at the Breakers' renowned restaurants and bars, including Echo, Henry's Palm Beach, HMF, and Flagler's Steakhouse. What's even better, for a limited time, when you purchase a $500 gift card online at thebreakers.com, you'll receive an additional $50 on that card, compliments of the Breakers. This Valentine's Day, give the one you love a gift card to the Breakers Palm Beach and remind them why they fell in love with you in the first place. Visit thebreakers.com today.
Hi, I'm Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. As you have likely seen and heard, law firm advertising is at an all-time high. Attorney ads seem to be part of every radio and TV commercial segment. Some firms are even using paid actors and actresses to speak for them. At Smith Ball Baez and Prather, we know that the decision to hire a law firm should never be based on advertisements alone. It is our past results and many positive 5-star reviews that we encourage you to read at smithball.com to learn more about our law firm. We have board-certified lawyers. We have lawyers listed in the best lawyers in America and in super lawyers. But most importantly, we have experienced lawyers located right here in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast that are ready to be your advocate and your voice, and fully prepared to start fighting for your legal rights today. Our purpose, legal power. Our mission, huge results. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith Ball Baez and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith Ball Baez and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Been a car accident, truck accident, stuff to slip and fall. My friends Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine at Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys, they like to fight for you. They got my back. I know they got my back, and they can get yours too. Just a phone call away. They don't even charge you unless you win. You can't settle for just any attorney. Go get the best in the area. Go get the best in South Florida. That is Anajar and Levine. Don't waste any time getting back what you deserve today. Take that one phone call. Take back control of your life. Don't wait. Call it the free consultation today. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Take back control to Anajar and Levine. We got Christian Cat here behind the glass. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo. Let's bounce around to 5% by Flagler Credit Union.
5 topics.
High five.
5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Let's get out of here.
Endless takes.
You can't handle the truth.
All gas, no brakes.
And it's shaking big time.
It's time for The 5 at 5.
Hold on to your butts.
Presented by Flagler Credit Union, proud supporter of FAU Athletics. Number 1.
Well, news in the NBA today is that after 21 seasons in the National Basketball Association, Chris Paul is retiring from basketball. How will you remember CP3?
To think out loud, he's one of the better non-MVP, non-champions in the history of the NBA, especially at the point guard position. You go him, Stockton, Kidd, those got that tier of player. Now, I don't know if I had to think about it where I'd put him all time, but he's somebody who had a long career, a great career, was a good leader, difficult to deal with, but ultimately was a great basketball mind. He has a future in coaching if he wants it. I'm not sure if he'll go that route, but he probably played 2-3 years too long. I think after maybe the San Antonio Spurs year, we probably ran our course. But you got to give Paul credit for having such an illustrious career with a number of different teams.
One of those players that I was able to follow his career since he was a rookie. I remember when he was in Champaign at the time at Assembly Hall, missing a free throw to lose the game for Wake Forest. So, this is a player I follow closely. Now, Colin, let's do it. Magic Johnson, Steph Curry, John Stockton, Oscar Robertson, Isaiah Thomas. He's not better than either of those players. I think where you could start putting them in, Steve Nash, Russell Westbrook, Kyrie Irving, Jason Kidd. Is he better? I would probably put Kidd ahead of him. I would probably put Nash ahead of him. That puts him at like 8. I'm comfortable with saying Chris Paul, top 10 point guard ever.
I personally think he's better than Kidd. I would go
Kidd
there.
Was unbelievable.
I would probably go with Kidd.
You'd go with Paul over Kidd?
I think I would. Now, Chris Paul is an excellent defender, too. Probably, I'm shooting from the hip, probably 7-8-time first-team All-Defensive. Yeah. And I would say first-team All-NBA, maybe he's got 4. I don't know. I'm shooting from the hip.
Kidd he did it all. Points, rebounding, assists, defensively. I think that's where he did definitely top 10. Could be top 7, top 8. I liked him the most when he was on the Hornets, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah,
Young Chris Paul on the Hornets with David West.
Chris Paul was a 9-time All-Defensive player. 9 times.
David West, Mo Peterson. Those are some of the more fun teams that never went deep into the playoffs. Then obviously you went to Lob City, and come on, that team was never winning.
Number 2.
NBA All-Star Weekend. It might suck. You might hate it. You might despise it. You might not want to talk about it, but it's happening. It's this weekend. Starts on Saturday, where you've got 3 different competitions. You've got the trusty 3-point contest. That'll feature someone who hasn't played a minute of basketball this year in Dame Lillard. You will have the slam dunk contest, who has a couple of names I have never heard of in my life. Is Carter Bryant a name I should know?
No, I don't know him.
Okay, just making sure. I know Jackson Hayes. But the third prong, not the last one to happen, is the Shooting Stars competition. Instead of the skills challenge that has been done away with for at least this year, there is the Shooting Stars competition taking place on Saturday for the first time since 2015. Do you guys know what that means?
No.
Nope.
I didn't, so I looked it up. Here's how it works. You have 4 teams comprised of 2 stars and 1 legend.
Oh, yeah.
All 4 teams have a theme. One has 5-time NBA champion Ron Harper Sr. and his 2 sons, Dylan and Ron Jr. I think one of those guys played at Rutgers. All 3 players on each team must make a shot from 7 marked spots on the floor in 70 seconds. Once all 3 players have converted from the first location, the team can move on to the second.
Christian, not to cut you, this ends with a half-court shot, right?
18-footer from the right baseline.
Okay.
Maybe it eventually gets there. Maybe they adjusted it. Are you caring about anything that happens on Saturday night of NBA All-Star Weekend?
It sounds like nobody has any idea what's going on. Where is it? Do you know?
It's in L.A.
It's in Los Angeles. I'm going to miss this. I'm going to be completely honest with you. The slam dunk contest, I think, the thing is, the dunk contest became a thing. Dunking became popularized with some of the great ones in about 10, 12 years ago, even before that. And ever since the Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine one, where I think that was 2017, I want to say, 2016. Ever since that, I think dunking sort of has reached a plateau, number one. Number two is the best dunkers are not even NBA players. The dunk contest was great in the old days because the best athletes were the NBA players, and the best dunkers, therefore, were the NBA players. The best dunkers nowadays are not NBA players. They are guys who are just ridiculous athletes who specialize in doing wonky dunks. So because of that, you're not that impressed nowadays, and therefore the stars are not that inclined to do it because they realize that they can't do what these crazy dunkers can do. So that's the only thing I'm interested in. Three-point contest has never been something that I interest myself in. So All-Star Saturday, I'm all good on.
I'm going to keep it a buck here. The last good dunk contest was 2010. Nate Robinson.
The Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon one was great.
For me, all right, the dunk contest that I grew up remembering was when Jason Richardson went through the legs and he won 2 times in a row because no one did it. To Colin's point, we've done everything. We've done all of the dunks. Where you lost me, and listen, Nate Robinson dunking over Spike Lee. All right, that was 2010. You lost me when Blake Griffin started dunking over Kias. All right, I'm all good. We're all good.
Hoods of Kias.
Yeah, correct. Christian. We're all good. That competition went downhill after 2010. The three-point contest, all right, you can sell me on it, but it doesn't have anybody in it anymore. Like, the three-point contest used to be a lot of fun because the dunk contest was great. The skills challenge was great. And believe it or not, the thing you described, I remembered, that was fun as well. So I just have no interest. Guys, I have a timer. I have a timer on Sunday for the game. I have a 5-minute timer. The NBA has 5 minutes to catch my attention in that All-Star game until I turn the television off. And if I see someone launch a half-court shot with 10 minutes to go, 8 minutes, 7 minutes to go in the first quarter, I'm immediately turning on anime and not giving it a second thought.
You liked the first topic in the NBA, and you liked the second. Do I dare go for a 3? Yeah, I will. Well, the Utah Jazz and the Indiana Pacers have been fined by the NBA for sitting their top players. The Utah Jazz got a hefty $500,000 fine for a couple of games of which they sat their best players, Jaren Jackson Jr. and Lauri Markkanen. One of those games was against the Heat. The other was against the Magic. What's the best way to punish a team that is downright tanking?
The quickest way is to fine them. My opinion, if you want to make them feel it, you got to threaten their pick somehow. And I don't know if that's the right solution, but that is the only logical thing that I could see that would get coaches and front offices away from the idea of tanking. I think you got to punish the picks in some capacity. I think, yes, you could fine them the wazoo, but I saw Bobby Marks on ESPN went and said that he heard from an NBA team that said they'd write a blank check for a top 3 pick in this year's draft. So, it doesn't matter how much they get fined because they think they're making a long-term investment in a star that is going to elevate their franchise. You got to threaten the picks.
Yep, and I'm with Colin. Sad part is it's never going to happen until they fundamentally change how they figure out and how they determine who's going to get the number 1 pick. There's always going to be tanking. I think it's a huge blemish on Adam Silver, and I also think it's just this is where we're at in the league. $500,000? Is that the correct amount?
Yes, for the Jazz.
Whoa!
And
does nothing. That does nothing for me.
That's a hefty fine.
Keep it up with that attitude.
Hefty fine.
500 more.
And I like what you brought up about Marks. You think that Jazz owner's got more money than anybody, obviously a stretch, more money than Midas, more gold than Midas. That guy don't care. He'll write those checks all season long. $500K to those guys. Woo! Sorry.
That's okay. We are currently in the week after the Super Bowl. In my opinion, February is the worst month to watch sports. That includes the Super Bowl.
Yeah, because you got to watch the NBA.
Mike, Colin, what is, in your opinion, the worst month of TV sports viewing?
August. August is the worst, in my opinion. This year specifically, the summer usually gets hit because it's just regular season baseball. Now, July is interesting because you get the MLB, you get the trade deadline, and you got some action going on there. But August is when teams are trying to get healthy, at least in the MLB. It's NFL regular season, which nobody cares about. You're getting excited for that. The
Preseason,
end of it,
you mean?
Yeah, the preseason. Excuse me. The college football has got a week, maybe that last day of the August. Now, the good news about this summer is you got the Stanley Cup and the NBA playoffs going right into the World Cup, which will take you until about mid-July. So you're not going to be devoid of sports in any point during that stretch because you're going to have that and then the regular season of baseball. August, in my opinion, is worse than February. February, you're coming off a little bit of a high off of a ton of football for about 6 straight weeks. But I'm a big college basketball fan, so I'm totally fine with it.
Christian hit the nail on the head. It's right now. I like college basketball for the record. I'm looking forward to watching Big Friday, is it, tonight? But I'm a baseball head, man.
Yeah, those games aren't that consequential in August. It's not division race time.
I love my fantasy baseball team. I've been in a league. I love my Guardians, love my Indians. Okay, I could be sold on Logan Allen pitching on a back-to-back in Game 2 versus the White Sox.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's just not division race time, which I don't like about it.
I'm all for it.
It's not division race time.
I am a baseball guy, so I love August. Right now, where, the college basketball is great. The bubble games are great, but you're banished to the worst league out of the big three right now. You're banished to the NBA. And I think it would be a lot better if the regular season meant something. You know what I mean? If something was on the line in the NBA, it would be fun to watch. Nobody cares about February basketball in this godforsaken All-Star game. Nobody cares.
You just talked about the MLB, which is, in a lot of ways, consequential in some capacity, regular season
They're
games.
trying
right
in
now,
August, though.
You have consequential. I mean, they're trying. It's the dog days. They're trying to stay alive. They're trying to stay alive.
But for me, Colin, baseball players give their effort, all right? Unless it's Luis Robert jogging to first and getting pulled by Tony La Russa, all right? Baseball players are giving their all every single day. You're not seeing that in the NBA. You could tell me,
it's a different sport. It's hard to compare. Colin,
you could tell me.
3 at-bats a game and 2 balls hit to you in left field. I mean, it's a little different.
Partner, I'll listen to you when you tell me the regular season's too long and you get tired of it. That's fine. I completely get it and I understand it. I have a real issue when guys aren't trying. And I have a real issue with stories not playing your best players. Now, in baseball, the talent discrepancy between these teams and the money and spend, that's the issue. All right, but that's a whole nother conversation.
That's not a problem in the regular season either.
You're not sitting your best players. You're playing these guys so they could get plate appearances. And more often than not, a bad team in the MLB has young players who need to play. You're not sitting those guys because they need the at-bats and they need to play in the field.
The one thing I don't like about August, too, is it's post-buy and sell period. So you get the teams that sell who are, like you said, bringing up their prospects, trying to take advantage of the service years and not use an entire one by bringing them up in either late August, early September. And on top of that, it's with the buy teams that are just trying to catch fire at the right time. So I guess those are the storylines there. The one thing I'll say, this specific February, you got the Olympic hockey. And I think the Olympic hockey is going to help in some capacity. And, the NBA is poor right now. You don't have to tell me that. I completely agree. But, the NBA is probably third in the totem pole of stuff you got to pay attention to right now, at least in my personal sports viewing opinion.
No, and listen, for the record, I do this every week. The NBA was my favorite league for 15 years of my life. This is me being frustrated with what I am watching on the court. It is an unwatchable product in my eyes until the playoffs start. That is a real issue for a league that was, well run. David Stern was the best commissioner I've ever seen. And the game was in a great spot when Commissioner Stern was still running the show. Go ahead, Christian. Number 5.
Well, you like baseball. So baseball is going to institute some automatic ball strike challenging technology into its 2026 season. Good news for players? Well, not for Chris Sale. Here's what he had to say when it came to challenging a strike that was called a ball that he thought was a strike.
I will never challenge a pitch. I will never do it. I won't do it.
Why?
Because I'm not an umpire. That's their job.
That's fair enough.
I'm a starting pitcher. I've never called balls and strikes in my life. Plus, I'm greedy, and I know that. I think they're all strikes. Especially the catchers nowadays, the way they catch the ball, the way they
So if you can't hear it very clearly, excuse me for that. But Chris Sale says he's not an umpire. He's never going to use the challenging rules that are now implemented in Major League Baseball because it's their job as the umpire to call a strike, and he won't get it right.
Well, thank God he's got a catcher who can do it. So whether he thinks it's a strike or a ball or not, they're managed to tell a catcher, make sure you when Sale's pitching, you call those.
You guys, I cannot believe I forgot to tell you guys this. I had an umpire come up to me at one of the high school events and basically give me an ear beating because I want the automated umps. I want the robot
he's a
umps.
listener to the show?
Gave me an ear beating, saying, hey, it's guys' livelihoods out there, and I get all that. But Christian, you want to know how we could avoid this?
Where was this?
Do you want to?
An off-duty ump came up to you?
Off-duty ump came up to me at a football game during the fall, and I cannot believe I'm just remembering this. I was in line at the concession stand. I'll tell you more off the record. But Christian, you want to know how you get rid of this? Is if you have a robot calling the balls and strikes, because the robot ain't going to get it wrong.
Yeah, it's kind of exact.
I mean, I know I'm in the minority on this, but the whole, hey, swing at the outside stuff. He's got a big strike zone. Why? The strike zone's a strike zone. What are we talking about? What do we mean? He's calling the outside stuff today. Is that right? Why? Because because he wants to ruin the game. I can't do this. I to be fair, I've been complaining about this since I was 12 years old to my father. You call Tony Rizzo right now. I've been complaining about this since the Indians in 07 when they weren't giving CC Sabathia the outside corner. Anyway.
I think the one thing I would add to this is I like the umpires. I like the idea that you can challenge. I think that's the right way to do it. But it loses a little bit of novelty if you're going to get rid of the umpires altogether. But if you're just going to be able to challenge balls and strikes, that's where I think that is the happy medium. Every calls can now get challenged, and that's in every sport. And I think that you should hold the officiating and the umpires count under that umbrella accountable in some capacity. And I think that's a good way to do it.
Like, go back in the day when there was no challenges at all, when it was Armando Galarraga who would have had a perfect game.
Oh, God, that was the worst call I've ever seen.
I think Jim Joyce, the umpire who blew that call, would have liked to have a robot have his back to not permanently impact the game of baseball and the legacy of that guy. He was in tears afterwards, saying, I took away that from that kid. I think accountability helps these umpires.
I agree, and that's why it's good, because I think this will ultimately improve umpiring throughout baseball.
Yeah, and then we'll get rid of them.
Until we get Angel Hernandez's, regen, who's just, got the worst strike zone I've ever seen in my life.
I don't need a green light, red light at first base whenever he's safe route. I don't need that. That would look a little. A little robotic.
To be fair,
one it would.
Hang on. To be fair,
yeah.
I just want it behind home plate. And I want the ump to be told if it's a ball or a strike.
See, I just want
That's all I want.
I want the right call whenever we can.
Yeah, I personally, I think having there's something about baseball with that. I understand it's a little traditionalist. It is. But
we're in the wrong. By the way, Christian,
the umpires get it right 99% of the time. They get it right mostly always.
That's awesome.
It
could be 100.
That's why
Colin, many.
It's a minuscule.
Because the playoffs, it's unwatchable sometimes.
It's not unwatchable ever in the postseason. It's not unwatchable ever in the postseason. It's not unwatchable.
What I'm saying,
the umpiring
the
can
umpiring
be behind
home plate more often than not in the playoffs.
And that's why you
unwatchable.
add an accountability system. But baseball is meant to be officiated like every other sport is.
He's
got to do the same thing. Wait till we get computers and AI generating when there's going to be a pass interference or not. There's going to be no refs on the field. It's the same concept. It's the same concept with the NBA with basketball. Once they start getting AI to in tune and that will be a thing. When in the moment there will be a computer generating AI determining when there's out of bounds, fouls, travels. That's my perspective.
I want it behind the strike zone. That's it. Those guys can make their mistakes at first and third because thankfully we have cameras now when they're ultimately wrong because they're always wrong.
Not always wrong. Blitz the book. Now, coming up next on Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
I'm Ellie Anajar of Anajar and Levine. Injured in a car crash? Never rush to settle with insurance companies, and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar and Levine. Our experienced legal team will fight to win you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call me, Ellie Anajar, for a free consultation and take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, West Palm Beach.
Mike Rizzo here. Moving soon? Trust the pros who move the pros. Call Good Greek for your total relocation solution. From packing and storage to local and long distance moves, Spiro and his team at Good Greek Moving and Storage have you covered. They've been trusted by families, businesses, and they're now the official movers of the UFC. Call the world's only total relocation company.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Talk about stepping up. Bang! Bang! It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3 with Colin Rizzo, Mike Rizzo, and Christian Cat. We got to make some bets to close out this Friday edition. Let's blitz the book with Hard Rock Bet.
Send some heat. Pin your ears back. It's time to blitz the book. Presented by Hard Rock Bet.
Blitz the book, Hard Rock Bet, ESPN 106.3. All right, we got to make a couple picks today, and we got a couple things to choose from. Anything you're hot on immediately?
Because this is old Ohio's day. Do they give Miami a game?
I agree with that.
Plus 8.5. Let's do it, bro.
Plus 8.5. Ohio at number 23. Miami of Ohio, who's undefeated on the season. I'm rooting for Miami of Ohio to win, but they've won close all year. This is going to be a tricky game, rivalry game. They've started to hear that they might not get into the tournament if they don't win the entire tournament, the MAC tournament, that is. So I agree with that.
Now, Ohio plus 8.5.
Yes.
I don't think everyone driving around knows exactly what the hell just happened.
So Ohio University,
Miami of Ohio. That's what I said.
My graduating school, Ohio University, the Bobcats, is on the road at the undefeated Miami Redhawks. Colin, what do you want to do with Michigan State and Wisconsin?
I think you take Michigan State here.
Oh,
minus 1.5.
Oh, God.
Michigan State hasn't played since their overtime win against Illinois. That was, 6 days ago?
You're down on Gard. Greg Gard, head coach
Here's
of
the thing.
Wisconsin
Was an excellent win against Illinois. They're due for a little hangover game. I think this will be that. They already got into the tournament. I'd be blown away if they beat two top 10. Why is what so low?
Why is it only 1.5?
Because they're on the road.
Dude, that's low. It should be like 5. I thought that was going to be like 5.
In-conference road game for a team that likes playing close.
All right, remember.
Classic Michigan State team. They'll muck it up. They'll get a lot of rebounds.
You don't like Bucky's Badgers. You're down on Guard. All right, we'll go Michigan State minus 1.5. So far, we have Ohio University plus 8.5. Michigan State minus 1.5. Is anything else screaming your name? Is there that New York league that you like so much?
You want to take the Manhattan game tonight?
I mean, you tell me. I'm leaning on you for that.
The Manhattan game. Manhattan's playing Niagara tonight. I've been betting against them all year. They've had a bad year, but Niagara's terrible. So we could take Manhattan if you'd like.
I've got a good one for you guys.
What do you got?
The 10-16 Manhattan. What's their mascot?
The Mad Hatters.
The Jaspers, I thought.
Jaspers is right.
What?
Yeah.
I like Penn State hockey. Take down number 2 Michigan on the ice, plus 145. The best player in the country's on Penn State.
McKenna's playing?
I don't know.
You don't even know if he's playing? He got into an altercation.
I don't think they take you out of a hockey lineup if you punch a drunk guy who made fun of your mom.
He got charged.
That's okay. Stephon Diggs got charged.
All right. that works. We'll take Penn State.
And we're taking
there we
them.
go.
The Jaspers, we're taking them.
What
too.
are those
and,
odds?
Bet St. John's against Providence -7.5 on the road.
We're going to run out of time.
We're good. -7.5 St. John's. I were rooting for Providence to lose and fire that phony coach. Ohio +8.5 against Miami of Ohio. Michigan State to beat Wisconsin tonight on the road -1.5. St. John's -7.5 to beat Providence on the road. That is tomorrow. And then Penn State hockey to beat Michigan. There it is. That's your Blitz to Book. That is Mike Rizzo, Christian Catt, Colin Russo. We'll see you next time right here, ESPN 106.3.
Whether it's a clutch touchdown pass, a game-winning dunk, or an impressive dash to the finish, we want to highlight the best performance